Yes, sir. I wanted to ask you about the intercalated discs. Are those
Okay,
just gap junctions, like you said? Those are just simply gap junctions that allows electricity to flow through. Is that what you said, correct?
that's correct. So when you take AMP2, when the heart beats, it starts to beat from the atria and then down through the ventricles. The gap junctions allow the electrical signals that start with the conduction system of the heart, and that allows the changes in electrical voltage to move throughout the heart. And the electrical voltage causes the heart muscle to contract. So the gap junctions are electrical synapses. They allow uh, charged ions to move throughout the heart. And as the electrical impulse moves from top to bottom, it causes the contraction of the heart from top to bottom, from atria to ventricles. Otherwise, the heart cannot pump efficiently because the atria have to receive the blood, and then the ventricles pump the blood around the body and to the lungs. So the heart has to be coordinated, and the gap junctions allow the electrical currents that start in the atria to move to the ventricle so that you can have top to bottom contraction of the heart. Is that too much? Did I answer your questions? Ask anything else.
Thank you.
Okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
Okay. When it comes to WebAssign, I know that this might be, I mean, something that you don't do, but I'm just curious if it's hard to implement, like in or to install. So when I'm on WebAssign, if there's a question that I don't understand, like on just a simple true false, and I put true and it comes back false, is there a way that we could find out why it's false without going back to watch all the through the videos? I mean,
Yes, let me show you how to do that.
mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna go to WebAssign. Okay, we go to student view. I got some questions to answer there. Okay, so what you should do is always send me messages. Okay, so how do we do that? So if we go to student view, open student view, and we have any assignment. Okay, so let's look at water right here. Bring this up. Okay, so uh, you can print the assignments here. You can request extensions. But if we look at any question, just click Ask the Teacher, and it will automatically send your question. And you just tell me, why is this false or why is it true? And I will answer your question. So if we go to so hydrophobic substances form hydrogen bonds. No, they don't. Hydrophilic, yes, that's true. The hydrophilic head of a phospholipid is found in the center of the lipid bilayer. No, that's false. Fatty acids contain two hydrophobic portions. That's incorrect. Let's see if I guessed wrong. Okay, so that's correct. So we'll go to the next question. So here's a one where it's multiple choice. Uh, so you can just always ask the teacher, and it will send a copy of this question. And you ask any question that you uh, have a question about here, and I'll see the question and I'll answer your question. So let's go ahead and close student view and go back to, it's not working lately. Okay, so let's close this, go to my classes, and I automatically have messages here. So hopefully the student doesn't mind. I'll get the question. Okay, so the date is after the 11th on this. So check the syllabus, and I will be giving more information about 3.1 and 3.2. So I'll answer the question. Okay, so I just send that on. Takes care of that one. And we got one message left. Okay. Okay, I'll have to check with this student. I'll leave this here, and I'll check the student to get an extension. So let's see. I'll probably just do it right now. Okay, so notice it sends the question she's working on. Then I go to view responses right here. And then I grant an extension and submission. Okay, so the calendar is here. I'll go ahead and make it due on Saturday the 6th. And at 23:45, I just picked 11:45 as the due date for everything. So that's there. I enter that. And then she has the new date. And then I save it right here. And that's taken care of. So it's absolutely essential that you use Ask the Teacher. This should be taken care of. Yep, okay. So you don't have to say you're sorry to ask for an extension. So if we close that out and go back to Open Student View, you can see that any assignment, like on water here again, or chemical reactions. So click there, and we'll do the assignments one at a time. And Ask the Teacher is right here. And ask me about the question, or ask me about the any topics you may have about this. So if I go this new randomization, this question has very little randomization. So, but you can always look at previous answers, and you can always ask the teacher. You can also put my notes in here if you want to make any notes about the various questions. Okay, that's a lot. Does that answer questions? Any more questions?
Yes, it answers my question. I mean, I understand how to ask the teacher. That part you kind of went over. It's more so, I guess, if I'm dealing with, I mean, you were just in chemical reactions, and I was on, I mean, should I share my screen? Is that easier for you, or?
Say that again.
It's easy for me to share my screen to show you what I'm talking about.
Sure. Go ahead. I'll go ahead, see if you can present now. I don't know whether I got to turn it off or not. Do you see a present now for you?
Yes, it says you're presenting, so I'm not.
Okay, I'll stop then. Oh, now you're presenting. I should be able to see your screen.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so when it comes to a question like this that I got right, I mean, I get that there's not many previous answers. So, I click this. I clicked this on the first time because I didn't know what the answer was. So, I mean, I clicked one and hope for the best, honestly. But if I were to click this and say, like, this is the reason why it's not this, I have no idea why it's not this.
So what you do is you just ask the teacher, and I'll explain it to you.
Okay. I mean, okay. If that's
That's a
you're
direct
right.
approach, right?
Right. I just like I'm not trying to tell you to change. When we did something like
Yeah, we talked about chemistry, but I didn't talk about that formula. So
right. So,
that is acetic acid. The bottom line is that it's a weak acid and it releases hydrogen. But
okay.
ask the
I'll
teacher and
yeah.
I'll explain uh, whatever you need an explanation for.
Okay. And I think as I was saying about this one, like when I get it wrong, it shows me where I was wrong or why I did it wrong.
Exactly.
Not so much just okay. I'll ask. I'll send you a message that way.
Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
um, I think Mara had asked you something about how there was some sort of confusion regarding the glycolipids and glycoproteins on the WebAssign questions.
Yes.
Do you have any guidance on that? Has anything changed, or
Okay. Okay. So here's the question she was talking about. So this is a phospholipid. Everybody agree with that?
we can't see the screen?
See my red arrow? People see the red arrow?
No, we can't
We
see
No.
can't see
anything.
your screen.
No. No.
Oh, let me present and make sure that. Okay, let's see. Where are we? Okay. Resume your presentation. Okay. Can you see my mouse now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a phospholipid. It has a hydrophilic head and a hydrophobic double tail. If you see little hexagons, those are chains of glucose. So this is a glycolipid because it's attached to a lipid. This is a glycoprotein because it's attached to a protein. So show the layer of the phospholipid just below the interiormost glycoprotein. So the only glycoproteins in this view is here and here. All the rest it's and here it's hard to tell. But a glycoprotein is attached, there's carbohydrate chains attached to the protein. So these are proteins that have a channel through the membrane. Other proteins are embedded in the membrane and don't go all the way through, like this one. These are channel proteins. All of these are phospholipids, and they have a hydrophilic head and hydrophobic tails. So all the tails congregate in a bilayer to get away from water. Get away from water outside the cell and inside the cell. Please ask questions if it's not clear.
No, I understand that, sir. Follow-up question. I just want to make sure. So as of now, everything we have talked about prior to this lecture and this lecture itself will be included on the exam. Is that correct, sir?
Tissues are not going to be in the exam. Tissues, we're jumping ahead, but okay,
Oh,
let's look again
tissues
at,
will not be on the exam. They will not.
let me look at open student view. Okay, so my assignments. Okay, let's look at home. Okay, so notice that here are the dates. There's tissue here. There's tissues discussed here. Those will not be on the test. So if I look at the practice tests, let's go back to my view. Okay. So these are all the assignments. So all of these assignments, this is what is on the practice test. So if I go view the practice test here and notice the dates are all before 211, then these other dates will be adjusted. So the only thing on the test is all of these assignments. But remember, you do these assignments, get your full points, and then focus on the Lab 1 practice and the T1 practice. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. So everything prior to 211 and 211 itself. I
But
understand.
remember, if you do all of these and get them right, all you have to focus on is the Lab 1 or the T1 lecture.
Yes, yes. I think I don't know if this is true. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she told me. I think I was talking to some fellow classmates. They said that you had said that tissues will be on the exam.
No, I
Last.
didn't say that. They're hallucinating.
All
Notice
right.
if you look here, if you look at the practice tests, this is what's going to be on it. I
Got
didn't
it.
say that. This
Got
is the
it.
practice test.
Got it. No,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I understand that. I think there may have been some miscommunication, but I appreciate that,
Well,
sir.
please tell them that there's no tissue on the exam. Here's the exam right here.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to I called you a few days ago to ask about that
Yeah,
because
and I told you no tissues, right?
yes, sir, you did.
Okay.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir. Appreciate it.
Okay. Any questions? Let's shut this down, stop recording.